You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high. Cause St. Louis isn't ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold up, we just saying hi. Five somebody, rise up. Weekdays, catch us live. Somebody, let's go.
Good afternoon. Good evening and good morning. Welcome to the Pascal Show. Hope you guys all doing well out there. Hope the show finds you in great spirits, because another day above the dirt is always a blessing. Let's not forget that. Oh my God. 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 Yo. Woo! Yeah, buenos días, cabrón. ¿Qué pasa, cabrón, muchacho? Whatever. Oh my God. Oh my God. Woo! Woo! My God. Wow. No. How's your day been? Oh my God. Okay. You see the title down below or up above, wherever you're watching this show. Oh my God. Oh my God. What is going on? What the hell is going on? Oh my God. We got to talk about it and then some, so we're going to get into it. Okay. So do me a favor. Do me a favor. Hit that like button down below. Crush it, do what it do. Hit that reaction button. Please and thank you. Hit that like button down below. Crush it, crush it, crush it. Hit that reaction button if you're watching on these other platforms. If you're watching on these other platforms like Facebook, X/Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Rumble, Twitch, Kick, I'm on all of them, so make sure you're following. Follow on those platforms. Please and thank you. Hit that subscribe button right here on this YouTube channel. Do it right now. Crush the subscribe button. Please and thank you. I love you. Always have. So hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell. Set it to all so you know when I go live, whenever I upload, because honestly, it is random. And whenever I can get some time to get my face all up in this show. So please make sure you do that. Hit that join button down below. Become a member. Check out my Patreon. And, of course, check out pascalmerch.com. Check it out, pascalmerch.com. We got some really great stuff over there. So go check it out. Some really dope hoodies, T-shirts, you name it. Go check it out. pascalmerch.com. Okay? Oh, my word. It has been a very interesting, it hasn't even been 24 hours yet, but we're just going to say it just to round up quickly. All right. It has been a very interesting 24 hours. Yes, I know it's a little bit shorter than 24. Just don't get at me. Okay. All right. I'm just not going to do the math. I ain't got time. There's so much going on and we ain't got time for all of it today. Unfortunately, it's a shorter, very short show today because your boys got things to do today. But nonetheless, and I may come back on this evening. I don't know. I might do an IRL tonight. I got a hankering for an IRL. I don't know yet. I haven't made the decision yet or not. We might go out, go grab a drink, talk to the locals, talk to the people, and see what they're thinking about all the stuff that's going on. We might do that. I don't know yet. I'll let you know if I do or not. But nonetheless, ish is literally hitting the fan. MAGA is in literal meltdown mode right now, more than I've ever seen in my entire life, of the likes you've never seen before. It is absolutely insane what we are seeing right now. Now, we're just going to start with this because we haven't gotten a chance to really address this or talk about this. But Melania, beautiful foreign Melania Trump. This is interesting. Okay, hold on. Keyboard is getting dusty. Here's the thing. All right. Melania went to she went on C-SPAN. Well, actually, it wasn't C-SPAN. It was on C-SPAN, but it was on other platforms too. But she went to the microphone and she said some things. And it's really short, so we're going to look at it ourselves, because not only did she say, I am not Epstein's victim, she said a lot of other things too, which made everybody scratch their heads like, huh? Wait, why did you do this? Why is this happening right now? She literally went to She literally went to the podium to say exactly this.
Melania Trump.
With the disgraceful Jeffrey Epstein need to end today.
Let me do that again. I don't know why the audio was out on this one, but we need to hear her every single syllable that comes out of this woman's mouth. Hold on 1 second. Let me try that again, because that was weird. Okay. Please and thank you. Yeah, there we go. We need to hear this for in its entirety. Melania Trump, everybody.
Good afternoon.
There we go.
The lies linking me with the disgraceful Jeffrey Epstein need to end today. The individuals lying about me are devoid of ethical standards, humility, and respect. I do not object to their ignorance, but rather I reject their mean-spirited attempts to defame my reputation. I never been friends with Epstein. Donald and I were invited to the same parties as Epstein from time to time, since overlapping in social circles is common in New York City and Palm Beach. To be clear, I never had a relationship with Epstein or his accomplice, Maxwell.
Hold on. Isn't it funny how the blinds went up in the background while she's reading this? I feel like there's a metaphor behind that. But interesting that she's saying she's not friends with Jizzy, okay, Ghislaine, okay. She's saying she ain't rocking with her, and that she wasn't friends with Epstein like that. Huh?
Email reply to Maxwell cannot be categorized as anything more than casual correspondence. My polite reply to her email doesn't amount to anything more than a trivial note. I am not Epstein's victim. Epstein did not introduce me to Donald Trump. I met my husband by chance at a New York City party in 1998. This initial encounter with my husband is documented in detail in my book, Melania.
Love the shameless plug to her book, by the way. She's like, by the way, I have a book. Go check it out. It's called Melania. Yes, check it out.
The first time I crossed paths with Epstein was in the year 2000 at an event Donald and I attended together. At the time, I had never met Epstein and had no knowledge of his criminal undertakings. Numerous fake images and statements about Epstein and me have been circulating on social media for years now. Be cautious about what you believe. These images and stories are completely false. I'm not a witness or a named witness in connection with any of Epstein's crimes. My name has never appeared in court documents, depositions, victim statements, or FBI interviews surrounding the Epstein matter. I have never had any knowledge of Epstein abuse of his victims.
Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. The White House is unraveling. The White House is unraveling. I repeat, the White House is unraveling.
I was never involved in any capacity. I was not a participant, was never on Epstein's plane.
Unbelievable.
And never visited his private island.
Wait, what? No, bro. No, hold up. I need to rewind that. I want us to hear that clearly. Hold on.
I was never involved in any capacity. I was not a participant, was never on Epstein's plane, and
never on his plane. Never on his, okay, all right, cool.
Never visited his private island. I have never been legally accused or convinced of a crime in connection with Epstein's sex trafficking, abuse of minors, and other repulsive behavior. The false smears about me from mean-spirited and politically motivated individuals and entities looking to cause damage to my good name, to gain financially and climb politically, must stop. My attorneys and I have fought these unfounded and baseless lies with success and will continue to maintain my sound reputation without hesitation. To date, several individuals and companies have been legally obligated to publicly apologize and retract their lies about me, such as Daily Beast, James Carville, and HarperCollins, UK. Now is the time for Congress to act. Epstein was not alone. Several prominent male executives resigned from their powerful positions after this matter became widely politicized. Of course, this doesn't amount to guilt, but we still must work openly and transparently to uncover the truth. I call on Congress to provide the women who have been victimized by Epstein with a public hearing specifically centered around the survivors. Give these victims their opportunity to testify under oath in front of Congress with the power of sworn testimony. Each and every woman should have her day to tell her story in public if she wishes, and then her testimony should be permanently entered into the congressional record. Then, and only then, we will have the truth. Thank you.
So, what was that all about? Don't worry, we already know now. But I'm saying when we first saw this, and I'm telling you, including myself, I was driving my car. I had to pull over and go, wait, what is this all about? What the hell is going on? Why is this going on? I heard a rumor, didn't know it was actually true. So I was a few hours late when I found out, like I got the memo a few hours later, and I was like, stop, she really just did this? And then apparently Trump had no clue that she was going to do something like this, that he was blindsided, I guess, by this situation, that he did not know at all about what she was about this announcement that she was making, right? That he had no clue that she was going to make this statement at all, which of course, I got to be real. I mean, if you're living on opposite sides of the White House and your relationship, your marriage is just an arrangement, yeah, sure, you're not going to know what what your wife is doing all the time, okay? But nonetheless, she goes out of her way to do this and put this out, and of course, after she did this, he lost his mother-loving marbles all over True Social. He just went absolutely psychotic on social media, so much that he now has his own MAGA base that was literally sucking the very juices of his plums are now turning on him. They're all turning on him now. People are pissed about this situation. Very much not happy, right? Now, suddenly out of nowhere, she did mention, if you heard a news media company, she mentioned one in her speech, the Daily Beast. Now, why would she say the Daily Beast? It makes you wonder, like, what is actually going on here? Is this something that we should worry about? Or is this something that we shouldn't give a damn about, that she just had to do this for the sake of doing what she did? And I had sounded nasty for a reason, dagnabbit. I said suck the very juices of his plums for a reason. You get what I'm saying? There's a double entendre. There's a double meaning in that. Okay? So let's continue on, shall we? We are wondering why. What's going on? Why did she do this? This makes no sense, but she did mention Daily Beast. So clearly she was trying to get ahead of something before it dropped harder than Cardi B's booty on a Tuesday. Okay? So here's what's interesting. There have been recordings that have been obtained exclusively by the Daily Beast, where Jeffrey Epstein is bragging about his close relationship with Trump and the First Lady. We have the audio. Let's take a listen to this, shall we? Okay.
So how do you know this?
That was close to straight. So you probably know he had a scalp reduction. Because he had the same male pattern movement that we all have. So he had his scalp movement and stuff. And he'd say, Michael, come on, let's go to the office. And he'd say, tell me, what's it like there? He'd say, you like having sex with your wife? How often do you? He'd say, it's great. Seriously, Michael, how often do you have sex? I mean, don't you want to try? You and I can go upstairs, or tomorrow come over. There's this girl's coming in from Los Angeles, part of the Hawaiian tropic so come over with your car. You're going to have a great time. I promise you, Michael, it's just me and you. You're going to have a great time. Be up here at 3 o'clock. We can go upstairs. The whole time, Victoria's been on the phone. Listening. He set it up. Because he wants Victoria. You must have had a better wife, right? I said, yes. Tell me about it. And the wife's on the speakerphone listening. So, I know I think you're really hot. And I know you think you're a guy. Michael is like the end of the world, the best guy on earth, the world would be married to. You're wrong. Just listen to the next 20 minutes. And go with your office and set you up.
So how
This is not good, okay? Not good when you start hearing the audio of how individuals are getting connected, or how his relationship and how close his relationship is with Epstein, like between Epstein and Trump and all that. In fact, she sits there and says, oh, I'm not close to Melania. I was never close to Ghislaine at all. I wasn't close with with Epstein and Ghislaine. But in actuality, she was, because there were texts, there were messages, emails that they had between Melania and Ghislaine. Like one right here. Right here. Dear G. Okay. How are you? Nice story about JE in the New York Mag. You look great on that picture. I know you are very busy flying all over the world. How was Palm Beach? I cannot wait to go down. Give me a call when you get back in New York. Have a great time. Love, Melania. Now, here's the thing. Don't get me wrong. Keep it a bean, guys. Ladies, especially you ladies out there, I know how y'all like to talk to each other like y'all are besties all the time. Hey, love. Hey, girl. Kisses. Like, that's just how girls talk, right? But if they're not close, if they're not even friendly, why would she be calling her G and then the sign off being love Melania? If it's just like, you know, we cool, like we all right, you're not sitting there saying love. You're maybe saying just Melania, right? Maybe you're calling her dear Ghislaine, not calling her G. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of people are looking at this email, this first email, and saying something about this seems strange. You know, it seems like they were cool. Seems like they were cool enough. Why would she go and send her an email out of nowhere to say, oh, love the story that New York Magazine did on Jeffrey Epstein. Good job. You look great in the picture. You know, I know you're very busy flying all over the world, but how is Palm Beach? I cannot wait to go down. Give me a call when you're back in New York. Okay, have a great time. Love you. Kisses. Melania. You see what I'm saying? It's not every day that you're seeing text, emails between people that are just acquaintances like this. Now, I get it. Girls, when they're talking to each other, they the way that girls, women communicate may be different, but it may be different than men because we don't really do. Sup? Yeah, we about to go here. You want to come through? Okay, bet. And that's it. That's how we do it. All right. See you in a little bit. We don't do love, kisses, hi. You know what I mean? So it is weird. That's just one email, right? That's one email. Here's another. Okay. Allegedly from. This one has not been confirmed to be Melania or not, but there's a lot of people that are side-eyeing this one as well. So this was to J.E., to Jeffrey Epstein. Okay. I simply cannot believe this victory. No one called it. We all thought she'd win. You must be happy, though. I remember flying back with Donald on his plane the first weekend I went to visit you in Florida. The first weekend I went to visit you in Florida was the weekend he met Melania. Sorry, so this is somebody talking a third person, okay, about Melania, meeting, okay, a meeting between them all. Okay, so let me repeat that again. I remember flying back with Donald on his plane. The first weekend I went to visit you in Florida was the first weekend he met Melania, and he kept coming out of the bedroom saying, wow, what a hot piece of ace. Yeah, nuts. Anyway, hope you're enjoying Saudi. What? Yeah. I remember flying back with Donald on his plane. I'm assuming Epstein's plane. The first weekend I went to visit you in Florida was the weekend he met Melania. And he kept on coming out of the bedroom saying, wow, what a hot piece of ace. That Veronica Vaughn is one hot piece of ace. Anybody know what I just quoted? Me and her got it on. Woo-wee! No, you didn't. Well, you can imagine it, can't you? So hot. Want to touch the hiney. Nobody? Okay. It's okay. That's a deep cut. That's definitely a deep cut. Not Dumb and Dumber. Oh my God. Oh my God, you're wrong. But it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. I still love you. I still love you. All right. Okay. So a 2016 email to Epstein from an unknown sender. Okay. Gross remark about the first week that Trump met Melania, and they were already knocking the boots, allegedly. Because they could have been in a bedroom and he could have just been talking to her and saying, dang, she's just a beautiful woman. But he said, what a hot piece of ace. You know what I mean? And that's love at first sight. That's love at first sight. That's love right there. I don't think I've ever heard. I mean, unless you like no disrespect to the bikers out there, okay? Like you Harley Davidson riding, bikers, part of a biker gang, okay? But it feels like that's something that you would say, you know what I'm saying, to your future Hell's Angels biker chick wife. You know what I mean? She one hot piece of ass, my brother. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna marry her. You get what I'm saying? That's a hot piece of ass, brother. She looked real nice on my Harley, on my hog. No. Biker chick ladies that are watching right now, all tatted up, smoking your cigarette right now. No one ever came up to you and said that and you felt flattered? None of y'all? And your heart like skipped a beat? Because he was talking in your love language? Nobody? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's Friday. It's Friday, guys. Nobody? Oh, yeah, brother. That's one hot piece of ass, brother. She's gonna look real nice on my hog. Like, I feel like that's something you know what I mean? You like in that dive bar. You see what I'm saying? And it's all good. Everybody lives their life however they want to live their life. But that's the moment, you know what I'm saying? You see that girl from across the bar. She's smoking her cigarette, drinking her Bush beer, or her Bud Light Hard, smoking Marlboro Reds. Okay? She living just as hard of a life as you. And wow, you go up to her and go, wow, you are a hot piece of ace. And it's love at first sight, But Trump, and in his world, do we really see somebody going up? Like, do you really see I see Trump saying that for sure. You know what I mean? But how does that suddenly be a thing where you're like, wow, I am just so taken aback by this man and his infinite comb over. And man, this is my future husband, And he just keeps coming out of the bedroom going, wow, what a hot piece of ace. I don't see how, you know what I mean? Like, love stories were never written off of that line. Like Romeo and Juliet did not, he did say butt soft, but he didn't say hot piece of ace. He did say if I could be that hand on that cheek, and that could also be reread into something. That could be a double meaning on something else. But he didn't say one hot piece of ace, I'm just saying out loud, okay? These Kingdom just said, good ass Riz. Yeah, and you're not, you're not going, oh my God, his Riz. It's just, his Riz maxing. Like, I don't know what these kids say anymore. You know what I'm saying? His Riz is maxing. I don't know. But he came out of the bedroom, which obviously means that they were bumping uglies, And he came out of the bedroom and said, wow, what a hot piece of ace. Like he probably really said that at some point, you know? And he said, yeah, she looks great on my hog. I already had a test drive. You know what I'm saying? Okay, we're done. We're gonna move on. Okay, but allegedly, she's been on the now dawned Lolita Express. That she has been hanging out with Epstein for a while. That she has a strong relationship or had a strong relationship with the likes of Ghislaine Maxwell, Jizzy. So, of course, she went and did that statement yesterday out of nowhere, out of the clear blue sky, and threw off Trump as well. Apparently, like I said earlier, he was absolutely blindsided by this information. He did not know that she was going to do anything of the likes of what she did. I'd be surprised too. I'm going to keep it a bean. I'd be surprised too. Take a listen to this.
So Peter, we don't know why.
From Fox.
It looks like the White House was blindsided by this, right?
Yep.
I don't think blindsided, but it seems like there was not a big plan for the message to change from a wartime message and peace talks in Pakistan to this. And yesterday, all morning, we were getting calls from the afternoon shows that this statement was going to air during. What's the topic? What's it going to be about? And I was asking in the West Wing, and they said, we don't know. We're not sure. And so it was obviously well planned by the people in the East Wing, but it was a surprise to all of us.
How is it well planned if it's a surprise? You get what I'm saying, though, right? If the White House doesn't even know what's going on, how could they sit there and go, it was absolutely perfectly pre-planned? And I don't know why this man looks like a Muppet. He looks like a real life version, like a human version of a Muppet. If there was a Muppet version of a human, that would be him. He looks like a Muppet. But moving on, why would this human version of a Muppet actually say out loud, well, you know, the East Wing was this is perfect planning. This is absolutely perfect planning. Absolutely perfect planning on the East Wing part. Like, it's not perfect planning if they don't know what's going on. Am I right or am I right? This was impromptu. No one knew that she was going to do this. No one knew she was going to do this. Yes, he does look like a Muppet, but no one knew that she was going to do this. So how's that perfect planning? Like, Fox gotta stop. I just want to punch. Not him, just Fox. I just want to. You know what I mean? It pisses me off. Yeah, he kind of looks like Beaker. Oh my God. Stop. I gotta stop. Move out the way. But you see what I'm saying? Perfect planning. This is not perfect planning. No one knew. Now I got Beaker in my head. me. So here's the thing. That was a damn good call. You kind of have to laugh from crying. You know what I mean? You gotta laugh to stop from crying. So here's the thing. Clearly, I gotta take this guy's face off the Alex Jones not any better. Hold on. Okay. So here's the thing. Okay. Here's the thing. No one knew what was going to happen. The White House was blindsided by that statement. And some people were thinking like maybe she was doing that, not only just to, get ahead of this, but also as an opportunity to get people back on another story other than the war overseas. And what's interesting is that this was the worst case to get back the focus on. You understand? Like Epstein, they were trying to, this is why the whole war is going on in the first doggone place, to distract us from what this Epstein file stuff. And then she said in the statement, which I will say, I personally thought it was a good thing that she was saying this, but apparently Epstein victims are not happy about this, but she did say, I urge the, Congress to have hearings to hear the victims of the Epstein survivors, right? And apparently that I was like, that would be dope. Cool. But they don't like that either. They're not cool with it. They are not happy with that. And I thought it would be a great opportunity, but at the same time, I get it now. At first, I was like, okay, cool. But it's almost as if she's saying, I'm not a victim, but let's deflect all the focus on me and let's bring all the victims in so that you can look at the victims and not my possible connection to Epstein and her friend Jizzy and his friend Jizzy, or his lover / Robin to his Batman Jizzy, right? Now I see it. But I didn't think about it, shoot from the hip when I first saw the video, right? When I first saw that speech, I just figured, yeah, let them be heard. But they've been saying stuff for the longest time. And what has happened? Nothing. They've just been re-traumatized. They have to go through that whole experience all over again, over and over and over again. For what? They're not getting any justifiable gain from it. They're not getting justice. They're just getting their story heard for the umpteenth millionth time, right? So I get it, but that's her way of trying to look like she's doing the right thing and standing in solidarity with the survivors, right? When in actuality, she's deflecting the mother-loving thing. Crazy, right? In fact, hold on. Where'd it go? Hold on. I had it up and then things refresh, which I hate more than anything in the world. But it makes absolute sense why these victims, the Epstein survivors, are not happy with the idea of going through this whole thing, this whole process of trying to be heard over and over and over again, which I totally understand. And I'm going to look for I had it, but then the news feed like refreshed and it disappeared. I'm going to find the statement in a second. But nonetheless, we got to move on because Trump's been losing his doggone marbles. Okay, he has lost his mind and he is doing everything he can to try to get his base back while also telling them that they're idiots at the same time, which is absolutely insane. This is the wildest display of abuse I've ever seen in my whole entire life. Okay, he'll sit there and say low IQ individuals. He'll go in on the people that have been hoisting him on their shoulders and cheerleading him on towards leadership and to be our president again. Yet he will go out of his way to just completely destroy his entire support system, which is the dumbest thing I've ever seen any president do. Let's not forget the other dumb crap he's done over the past, I don't know, week or so. The whole civilization's gonna die tonight. He literally said that just a few days ago. Let me repeat that again. The whole civilization's gonna die tonight. He said that. So should we really be that surprised if he's going to sit there and ostracize and chastise the people who are actually looking at him sideways? The same people that were sitting there saying that he could do no wrong, literally sucking at his teat, literally beer bonging the very juices of his plums. And he's going out of his way to go, hey, these are all terrible people. All of them are bad. Guess what? That whole base, gone. He completely obliterated his whole entire base. Take a look at this crap. This is from Truth Social. He literally said this crap going in on all these people. People who literally have been standing 10 toes down, supporting him. And when he starts talking about annihilating a civilization, that's the only time that they've actually stepped up and said, yo, this is not cool. What he's doing is out of pocket. What the hell is wrong with this dude? This is wrong. That's when he suddenly is now saying, F these mother lovers. All of them are terrible. Look at this. I know why Tucker Carlson, Megyn Kelly, Candace Owens, and Alex Jones have been fighting me for years, especially by the fact that they think it is wonderful for Iran, the number one state sponsor of terror. Wow. Okay. Wow. To have a nuclear weapon because they have one thing in common: low IQs. They're stupid people. They know it. Their families know it. And for everyone else knows, and everyone else knows it too. Look at their past. Look at their record. They don't have what it takes, and they never did. These are the same people that he was literally saying, you know, great guy. I love Alex Jones. Good guy. Good guy. Smart fella. Really good guy. Same thing with Tucker Carlson. Even Megyn Kelly. They've had a very interesting roller coaster ride of a relationship, he and Megyn Kelly. But nonetheless, she was on his side for a lot of stuff, including Candace Owens. Okay? Very much suckling at the teat of Trump. And now he is ripping them off his teat and trying to dash their teeth out. Crazy. That was a Macbeth reference. Moving on. They don't have what it takes, and they never will. They've all been thrown off television, lost their shows. Well, Candace Owens was never really on TV. I don't think Alex Jones really has been on TV as well, has he? And if it was very short because he's crazy. But moving on. They've all been thrown off television, lost their shows, and aren't even invited on TV because nobody cares about them. They're nut jobs, troublemakers, and will say anything necessary for some free and cheap publicity. Now they think they have they got some clicks because they have third-rate podcasts, but nobody's talking about them. And their views are the opposite of MAGA. Or I wouldn't have won the presidential election in a landslide. MAGA agrees with me and just gave CNN 100% approval rating of Trump, his name in all caps. Not handing flailing fools like Tucker Carlson, who couldn't even finish college. He was a broken man when he got fired from Fox, and he's never been the same. Perhaps he should see a good psychiatrist. Or Megyn Kelly, who nastily asked me the now famous only Rosie O'Donnell question. Or crazy Candace Owens, who accuses the highly respected First Lady of France of being a man when she is not, and will hopefully win lots of money in the ongoing lawsuit. Actually, to me, the First Lady of France is a far more beautiful woman than Candace. In fact, it's not even close. Or bankrupt Alex Jones, who says some of the dumbest things and lost his entire fortune, and as he should have, for the horrendous attack on the families of the Sandy Hook shooting victims, ridiculously claiming it was a hoax. These so-called pundits, in quotations, are losers, all caps, and they always will be. No fake news, CNN, the failing New York Times, and all of the other radical left news organizations are hailing them and giving them positive press for the first time in their lives. They're not MAGA. They're losers. Just trying to latch on to MAGA. As president, I could get them on my side anytime I want to. But when they call, I don't return their calls because I'm too busy on world and country affairs. And after a few times, they go, nasty, just like Marjorie Trader Brown. But I no longer care about that stuff. I only care about doing right for our country. MAGA is about winning and strength in not allowing Iran to have nuclear weapons. MAGA is about making America great again. And these people have no idea how to do that. But I do, because the United States is now the hottest country anywhere in the world. President Donald J. Trump. That's just one of the posts he put up. I'm sorry. He really, at the end, that MAGA is about winning and strength in not allowing Iran to have nuclear weapons. MAGA is about making America great again. And these people had no idea how to do that, but I do, because the United States is the hottest country anywhere in the world. President Donald J. Trump. Happy Friday, everybody. Happy Friday. Oh my God. Yeah, there's so many grammatical errors in this whole entire thing. Okay. So he was sitting on his porcelain throne, okay, and pushing one out, okay, and he was just like, like that's literally what I think in my head, I don't know why, but now it's there. It's forever permanently in my head. Now it's, you know what I mean? The Candace one is ridiculous. The Alex one is ridiculous. All of it's bad. But it's funny because before that, when all the craziness was going down, and Candace Owens not so much. She started going off the rails with the France thing after she was saying, I don't believe MAGA anymore, right? When she started to venture away from that world, okay? When she started to leave MAGA land, her common sense also left too. Let's be real. Because I'm sorry, guys. I know some of y'all are going to be like, no, Brigitte Macron is a man, baby. No, she's a woman. Sorry. I'm sorry. Until I hear otherwise or until I see proof otherwise, she is still a woman to me. Okay? Yeah, she's still a woman. All right? Sorry. I know some people be like, no, what Candace Owens is saying is right. No, I don't think so. She lost it. Okay. She may think she's a man, but she still is just a woman to me. Okay. She's still a woman. Just so you know. But here's the thing. Alex Jones definitely felt some type of way about this reaction that this Truth Social tweet. So we got to take a look at this. This is just absolutely crazy. This whole thing's going on the way it is. Yes, I just quoted Billy Joel. You're welcome. Let's move on.
It's done. But at the end of the day, I just feel sorry for him and pray that God touch his heart and soul and free him from the demonic influences that he's under. I mean, it's just that simple. This is a nightmare. We know the Democrats, the left, are absolutely terrible. But when Trump's calling for wiping out whole civilizations and acting like a supervillain, I have to come out and say I don't support it. It's that simple. So again, Trump's own wife came out at an unannounced press conference today and said the Epstein crimes are real and that she wants the victims to be in front of Congress to cover up the end. That's the opposite of what Trump's saying. Looks to me like she's breaking with Trump because she knows the ship's sinking, has found out the truth. Elon left 8 months ago saying he's in the files as a cover-up. I never saw any evidence of it, but he's acting like he's guilty. We know he's protecting Howard Lutnick, who said he didn't know Epstein to go to the island, and he did. So all I can say is this is a terrible day, and it's a nightmare for America and the world, but I'm going to tell the truth, reporting the facts, no matter what it is.
He does sound like he's gargling gravel, but gay frogs. But here's the thing. That this is his response. He's like, yo, I'm going to keep doing me. clearly Trump is losing his marbles. He's losing his mind right now. And he's having literally a temper tantrum. He's having a temper tantrum on Truth Social overnight. I'm sure he's going to go overnight losing his mind tonight as well. Okay. While we're all trying to go to sleep, he going to be like, and another thing. And it's like, we heard you, I think that's what's going to happen. He's going to keep going ham on more things because he's trying to find anything he can to get his MAGA base back on his side. And there's a lot of people that are mad as hell about this. And yes, what's crazy about this is, yes, Alex Jones is absolutely 110% unhinged. It is Alex Jones. We're talking about Alex Jones. But these are also the same people that were hardcore, standing 10 toes down, willing to fight tooth and nail for anything MAGA based. And now he's throwing them all under the bus. Now, let's just be real. Candace Owens has been walking away for a minute. She's been walking away for a minute. So that's fine. But Alex Jones just recently is like, yo, what he's saying, talking about a full-on destruction of a civilization, talking about war crimes and all that, that's wrong. Same thing with same thing with Megyn Kelly. She's like, yo, what the hell are you on? You don't say those things. And that is MAGA saying that. And let me just repeat this. That's MAGA saying that because that's very important for everybody to remember. Everybody and their mama will sit there and go, well, of course that's coming from the left. Damn right. But doesn't it hit even more? Doesn't it hit even harder when you're hearing it from his MAGA base, who literally thinks he's the second coming of Christ? Who literally thinks he could do no wrong and that every choice that he makes is brilliant? So when you have the people who have been saying how amazing he is and how brilliant he is, they're now turning on him and saying, wait a second, whoa, no, we were cool with this, but now you're talking about women and children. And now they're going Scarface on his ass. No women, no children, okay? That's what's happening right now. Oh, you said you were going to do all this, and now you're going here. You said you weren't going to do a war, and now we're all up in a war. We're all up in Iran's butthole. In fact, we're not even in the butthole. We're just flying around it and saying we're about to attack the butthole. Like, it's ridiculous. And while you're talking about that, while you're flying around it, you saying you're going to go and take out the entire civilization. Man, you wrong. You are seriously breaking laws by even saying that, homie. So now, of course, the MAGA base is angry as hell about all this. And instead of him being like, all right, I'll take the L. I was wrong for that. You right, bro. Okay, man. Yeah, I was out of pocket. Okay, I made mistakes, man. He doesn't even do that. He doubles down and he attacks the people, the very people that helped him get elected in the first doggone place. All the ones that are criticizing the choices, the terrible, disgusting, deplorable choices that he's made as of late, like saying, oh, civilization's going to die tonight. He's now trying to clap back at them. You can't make this stuff up. You can't. In fact, even more crazy stuff, okay, has been going on, which we need to look at this too. This is just so disturbing. This is absolutely extremely disturbing, which I can't show you the video. I'm not going to show you guys this video. But then Trump, after he does that, because obviously there's been quite, oh boy, and we're going to look at some responses because MAGA supporters are going in on Trump right now. And they're going in protection of the likes of Candace Owens, Megyn Kelly, Alex Jones, and Tucker Carlson. And I'm telling you right now, maybe people are starting to wake the F up. Maybe people are starting to wake the F up and stop being so stuck in this cookie cutter idea of what MAGA is supposed to be or what a Democrat's supposed to be or Republican's supposed to be. Maybe they're starting to think for themselves. Suddenly, maybe somehow he like unlatched a whole bunch of people that were connected to the Matrix, and they're finally starting to wake the F up. And I'm not talking about woke. I'm not talking about wokeism. I'm talking about people starting to go, whoa, Whoa, homie, that is wrong. In fact, I don't like what you've been doing lately, but I've been standing by you no matter what. And now you're saying all these things going against our own base. This is not, now I'm going to go find somebody else. You see what I'm saying? Let's see what about Rubio's policies. Let's see what's going on over there. How about Vance? You cool? What's your story, bro? Because people are now angry. And I think some people are starting to get shaken out of the matrix, the MAGA matrix. No more do you have to be blonde, blue-eyed with all kinds of Botox and filler and fake boobies to be looked at as a supporter of MAGA. You can actually just be your true, authentic, individual self and have your own ideals. You can still be MAGA, but still have things that you agree with that may not be MAGA. Same thing on the left. There could be things that you agree with on the left, but there's some things on the right that you agree with. That's okay. Maybe people are going to start waking up now. And I'm not talking about wokeism. I'm talking about people waking the F up. Because this guy is now trying to do everything he can to try to sway the people back. Oh, God. Oh, God. He's going back to his old tricks again, by the way, guys. He's going back to his old tricks. You want to see what I'm talking about? Let's talk about this most recent, another post. It's not most recent because he put up a lot of other posts and we going through them all. Okay. But he then put up another post. And this time he's like, oh, these damn immigrants, these damn Haitian illegals. Yeah. Yeah. So now he's trying to get everybody focused on immigration again. Now, let me just say this. The case that he's talking about here is disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. And this individual that did this to this woman in Miami, if I'm correct, is a deplorable individual, is an absolute freaking monster. But this is not a person that is the poster child for every illegal immigrant that's in America. I'm sorry, but I'm just going to keep it real. We all know that. Not every single illegal that's in America is a murderous butthole, okay? Just so you know. Some people are just here illegally that just want to live. They may be breaking that law, but they're not breaking any other laws. They're just trying to lay low, and they're just trying to live their life. But look at what Trump is doing now, because the MAGA base is starting to turn on him. They're mad at him, especially now that he just went after the main pillars of the political pundits in the MAGA sphere. Tucker Carlson all the way down to Alex Jones, okay? They're all angry and going, yo, you out of pocket, bro. You out of pocket, Trump. Don't you dare say those things about our people, right? And then suddenly he turns and goes, well, illegal aliens. This damn Haitian, illegal Haitian is, he did this with a hammer. Huh? We must be mad. We must join together and be enraged by these illegal aliens that are in America. They're all evil. They're all criminals, and they're all going to try to murder your loved ones. Hide your kid. Hide your wife. You know what I'm saying? Take a look at this crap. I'm not playing the video, but down below is the video, and he plays the grisly video. And I do not recommend you guys watching this video. If it ever crosses your path, don't look at it. Swipe away, because it's bad. But he said an illegal alien criminal from Haiti who was released into our country by the worst president in history. Welcome to him bringing back Joe Biden. Come on down. Ba-ba-ba-da. You know what I'm saying? Crooked Joe Biden and the radical Democrats in Congress just beat an innocent woman to death with a hammer at a gas station in Florida. The video of her brutal slaying is one of the most vicious things you will ever see. This animal was allowed to stay here because the Biden administration granted him and all Haitians, so now he's going after Haitians now, ain't that lovely, temporary protective status, a massively abused and fraudulent program which my administration is working to terminate. but deranged liberal district court judges are standing in our way. This one killing should be enough for these radical judges to stop impeding my administration's immigration policies and allow us to, in all caps, end this scam once and for all. Yeah. So now he's looking at anything right now. He's looking at anything that he can get his hands on. And now it's a different group of people with melanin in their skin. And so now it's Haitians. Before it was, the people south of the border. Now it's Haitians, just so you know. To follow my fellow Republicans, and frankly, all common sense Americans, never forget that Joe Biden and the Democrat Party turned the United States into a dumping ground, allowing tens of millions of criminals, lunatics, and the mentally insane from all over the world to pour into our country, totally unvetted, unchecked through our wide open borders. As I've said all along, if you import the third world, you become the third world. And that is what is happening that is what has happened over the 4 years of Democrat control. We are rapidly trying to reverse this decline through deportations, but if the Democrats are ever given another chance at power, they will immediately reopen the border and allow America to once again be a safe haven for criminals. Please say a prayer for this innocent woman's family. We will ensure quick and severe justice is served in this case. I don't recommend you watch this tape because it is so terrible, but felt I had an obligation to put it up so that people can see what Democrats are protecting and wanting to come into our country, even now, after all we've been through. Again, viewer discretion advised, not for children. President Donald J. Trump. He's obviously saying all this ahead of midterms, right? He's trying everything he can to try to sway voters from actually voting blue. Because God forbid, if you let a blue wave happen, then suddenly this is going to happen all over again. More and more third world country immigrants or illegals are going to find their way into America and do this to your wife, to your daughter, to your kids, maybe even to you. So don't vote blue, everybody. Vote red. This is exactly what he's doing now. And let me tell you something. This is what scares me, okay? This is what worries me. Not scares me, but worries me. When Trump is being stuck between a rock and a hard place, when he paints himself into a corner, instead of him, or when he, like a fox getting stuck in a trap, instead of him actually trying to just gnaw his own paw off, he's trying to find anything under the sun around him to get him out of the trap. And that's exactly what we're seeing here. He's pointing blame on MAGA, pundits and podcasters that are literally not agreeing with how he's been doing things with the war overseas. The fact that there's a ceasefire when it really isn't a ceasefire at all. It's just a complete and utter cluster F right now. There's plenty of things that we're seeing right now where he is just losing his doggone mind and he's absolutely freaking out. But what does somebody like Trump do when he's desperate? That should be something we should all be worried about. We should worry about what his next move is going to be. As much as he says, oh, yeah, our military is standing by. They're standing back and standing by, getting ready for the next big project, operation. What is that then? Is that domestic? Or is that foreign? What does he have planned, y'all? Real talk, all jokes aside, we can laugh all day long about all the stuff that's been going on. But stuff like this, him going after pundits who are just voices on microphones. No disrespect to them. There's a lot of power behind the voice. But think about what he is trying to do and what he is truly capable of. You really don't think he has the sway of the general population, of the general people that are still hardcore supporters of him, that will do nothing? They will stop at nothing to appease the likes of Trump. Think about J6, guys. Think about J6 for 1 second. Close your eyes and think about what we saw. That was his last day. That was his last day. You want to know something that's really strange? Now, it feels like it's coming from a movie, but think about his last day. Do you realize that, which is absolutely insane, no one's ever caught this. But I never knew that the Village People's YMCA would ever be a war cry for J6. Seriously, guys, think about that for a second. He's getting in a plane, and it's YMCA, and his plane is flying, taking off in the background. You know what I'm saying? And we're all, the people who are sad about him leaving are just going, "Hi, Trump, you were the greatest president ever." And then all of a sudden, as soon as the plane takes off and it's gone, what did he do? What did we do? Or what did they do? They turned and they said, we're gonna storm the Capitol. YMCA. And they're erecting a guillotine in the field. Okay, YMCA. They're running through the Capitol, taking down photos, taking selfies, defecating and peeing in areas and stuff like that. Real talk. I did not know that was a war cry. That triggered everybody. You didn't notice that? Like, what is going on? With that, I'm saying that's true. That's real. Look it up. Young man. No, and then he's getting on the and then flying off, and then all of a sudden it's like, rah! Everyone goes crazy. That was real. That actually happened. That was supposed to be a moment of like joyous and, it's bittersweet, but for some odd reason, that song got so many people pissed off. And that's supposed to be a fun song. That's supposed to be a fun song. Ain't that song about getting laid, like bashing dudes in a like a YMCA shower or something like that? Ain't that supposed? You know what I mean? It's fun to stay at the. You know what I'm saying? I thought that's what the song was about, because the group, they all. Don't worry, I don't. Whatever. Whoever's team you batting for, I don't give a damn as long as it's legal and as long as you happy. But isn't that a song about like bumping uglies in a shower at the YMCA? Because it's fun to stay at the YMCA. You know what I'm saying? Ain't it? That's one of his favorite songs. And he had that playing as he was getting in, you know what I mean? And he does the shake wake dance, and I'm saying shake wake because I'm trying to be nice, okay? Because I could go somewhere, but I'm not. But he's doing this, with his song. Nobody. Yeah, it's like, ain't it like an anthem? Like it was a gay anthem song? You know what I'm saying? Everybody with the Freddie Mercury mustaches and the leather. Just a lot of leather and chaps. Nobody? Okay. I'm just saying. Wasn't that the thing back then? I'm just saying. So again, you got a dude. Same person. He has a way to get people pissed and rally them up. And he's trying his best to sway people. But here's the thing. I'm thinking we're now at that place like Like that analogy I've told you guys in the past, where it's like, you've been in this really bad, toxic, maybe borderline abusive relationship, right? And then finally you break free from that mother lover. But then for some odd reason, you get there's a second meet cute moment with that same mother lover. And you give that mother lover a chance again. But all the telltale signs pop up again. But this time, it's like, not on my watch, honey. know that. I know exactly when he scratches his ear, that means something, right? So maybe now we're all going, I'm done. Maybe the people are finally saying, I'm tired of him trying to turn our frustration off on him to something else. Oh, be angry about illegal aliens again. Be angry about that. Focus on that. Be angry at MAGA pundits and podcasters that are not okay and are not supportive of this war. Look to that direction. Don't look in this direction. Look that way. You're better off this way. And that's exactly what he's doing. And now, like I said, I worry about how is this going to morph? Because it's morphing and we're seeing it in real time. We are actually seeing this in real time. Okay? Which is absolutely crazy. All right? But again, crazy. All right? Nonetheless, we got to continue. And of course, like I said, I got questions because even so, just a little bit ago, he said, look at this. This is, again, I hear low IQ individual who calls himself Middle East something was disappointed that I canceled power plants and Bridge Day and that I saved Iran's civilization. Well, maybe I won't be so nice next time. So he's still literally, guys, take a good look at that. He's tripling down. It's like, hey, yeah, well, maybe I will push the button this time. Maybe I will push the button this time. This is real. This is real, y'all. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Okay? Real talk. This is not changing anything. Look, and this is the other thing. Look, Trump's followers on Truth Social are extremely upset about his attacks on the likes of Candace all the way to Tucker Carlson. Take a look. What? You are way out of line. Most of these people, especially Alex Jones, have been your day ones. You need to step back and take a good hard look at who's whispering in your ear. Get back to America first. I've personally put up with years of abuse from the whack jobs out here in Cali for showing my support to you. But after this, I'm hanging up my red MAGA hat you signed. Get right, Trump. That's one person putting up a response and actually defending Alex Jones. Now, some people will sit there and go, oh, these are all bots. Don't you see? This is a bot, bro. I don't know. I think a lot of people are angry about what's going on. I think people are getting pissed. Trump is mad that people who believed and spread his campaign lies don't believe him anymore. What a deranged lunatic. Somebody put in hashtag 25th Amendment now. Same dude. The pot calling the kettle black. Hilarious. Sounds like a fifth grader. Donald Trump is a loser. Everybody knows it. Total psychopath. Low IQ, the lowest. Everyone knows it. He's so insecure, he has to belittle his critics. What an embarrassment to the United States. Someone get this man on meds immediately. And this is just a few people saying this. I'm just reading randomly picking a few. Okay? What another person said, lost my support. What in the world is wrong with you? as of last week, they've done nothing but make excuses for your behavior, and you think they're the enemy. They are why I am a triple Trumper. Whoever is telling you this is very wrong. They've been trying to tell you how a large percentage of Americans see the things. I was confident that you knew what you were doing, but this is truly scary. Yo, this is somebody, a person who's a 3-time voter of Trump that is now sitting here saying these things out loud. What I am hearing is your ego is so fragile. You think anyone who questions any of your decisions has a low IQ. Sir, statements like this say far more about you than them. Damn. I'm just saying, okay? Yo. Like, this is bad. Wait, Virginia just said, radio station here says Trump is coming to the family winery for a meeting. Interesting. Virginia Scratcher. That's interesting. Why? He needs to find a way to calm the F down. Okay, he needs to pick up yoga or maybe, learn how to roll a blunt. I don't know, something. Okay, he needs to chill out. Somebody else, OMG, you're so childish. Clearly, the truth has triggered you. Being one of your biggest supporters, I'm done with you and your lies. Look at the mess you've gotten our country into by bending the knee to a monster. You lied to all of us when you said America first. We spent billions in a war for Israel, and that money could have gone to our American veterans or other programs here in America. But no, all you care about is being a deep state ass kisser. Soon the Democrats will be creating statues of you because that's how much of an insane lunatic you have become. Wow. Thanks for screwing all of your supporters over and ruining your legacy, Mr. Zero Arrests. Wow. Wow, man. I'm just saying, diggity damn. So people are mad. People big mad. Okay? People big mad. Okay? Yeah. That money could have gone to our veterans for sure and programs here at home, or, bringing in affordable health care for Americans, hardworking Americans. How about that? Let's not forget that too. These are all MAGA. This is all people on Truth Social going in on Trump, by the way. These are people on Truth Social. This is not on X. This is not on Blue, whatever the blue, whatever it's called, Blue Lagoon, Blue Society, Blue Social, whatever it's called. You know what I'm talking about. That other platform. I don't use it. I know a lot of people who do, but I don't remember the name of it. The blue one. Okay. The owner of Twitter, or the one who owned Twitter now owns Blue Sky. Thank you. The Blue Sky. Okay. This ain't from that. This is all coming from Truth Social, baby. Okay. You've lost my support, Mr. Trump, Mr. President. I'm sorry. I'm done. DJT. You're just a man. And I've done all that I can do, all I can to support you and stand up for you. But this is enough. I'm out. Good riddance to you and those who kiss your feet and shudder at the thought of having their own opinions that could at least show a sliver of a backbone, an opinion of their own, and not from the Kool-Aid they drink from your pitcher. Yes, see what I'm saying? Because anytime Trump says anything, everybody believes it, or his supporters do, and they think he could do no wrong, and it's wrong. But yeah, they're drinking from his pitcher. They're drinking from that Kool-Aid. Again, they think he can do no wrong, but homeboy, wrong. Okay, see ya. It was fun while it lasted, but I can't with this toxic approach of either 100% believe everything I say mentally versus I have a mind of my own and can base my own decision making based on common sense, history, facts, and trial and error. See what I'm saying? So now you're even seeing people finally saying, oh my God, I'm detaching from this MAGA matrix. I'm going to start making my own decisions. F this. I'm tired of drinking this Kool-Aid. I'm tired of this fruit punch. Okay. I need a different flavor. I need to start mixing it up. See what I'm saying? I'm thinking people are starting to wake the F up. Seeing your followers that trusted you dwindle in numbers when you threaten lives over a straight explains much more than that. You're the terrorist that kills people for politics. Woo! You're the man who wanted to divert everything that was supposed to aid us over the effing war, or over a effing war. Crazy. OMG, you sound like a 10-year-old who got his feelings hurt. This man is not well. If a CEO of any organization posted this type of hate, the board would oust him. Hashtag pedo. I mean, like I said, and it just keeps going and going and going and going and going. And I'm telling you right now, I think a lot of this yeah, it's a little too late now, don't you think? Yeah, Harvey. Yeah, it's a little too late because he's in office now. He was voted into office, so it's already too late. It's done. The damage is already done. But I'm telling you right now, people are starting to wake the F up. They're starting to wake up. Listen, another one on the bottom says, I'm sorry, but all these names have been nothing but fought 100% for you since 2016. Alex Jones being the #1 supporter. Wow. What the F is this rambling? Crazy. They're fighting you because you sold us out. We aren't getting anything we voted for. No Doge cuts, no mass deportations, no fraud and abuse getting cut, no arrests of PDF files and traitors, and a brand new war nobody wanted, and in fact, voted explicitly against. You're an absolute failure and pathetic loser, and I am so sorry I voted for you 3 times. I will never be tricked like this again. I've learned my lesson. F you, a-hole. That's all a whole bunch of Trump supporters angry as hell. Because, yeah, he keeps going on. He's like, oh, but I did it. I'm the brilliant one. They're all low IQs. All of them low IQs. I'm the brilliant one. Because I'm Donald J. Trump. He's like, what the hell's going on? And Melania has a hot piece of ass. She's one hot piece of ass. You know I love a hot piece of ass. Crazy. Crazy. Absolutely maddening, guys. Maddening. But that is real. All of that is real. People are mad, and rightfully so. I don't think we should be, I think we all should be a little shocked by the turnout, because we already know how the MAGA base goes. As soon as they hear one thing, they just reiterate the same things that are being said by one person. It's unfortunate. But it's the same thing. It's the same thing on the left too. I'm not sitting here saying that it's only one side or the other. Okay. But I'm going to keep it real. When it comes to what we hear from Trump, as soon as we hear from him, from the source, we instantly believe that to be scripture. Instead of actually asking the questions. We should be asking the questions. And I'm saying this, it doesn't even matter if it's Trump or if it's Obama or Biden or any other president. It doesn't matter. We should always be asking questions. Always. We should always be asking and fighting for the truth. But with this administration, things have been a bit different. Have you not seen that? With this administration, we are seeing the lies literally in real time at the same time. We're seeing the truth as they're lying to us at the same time. You realize that? This one is worse, I think, than the first term, his first term. So we got to talk about this stuff that's going on in Iran. Let's take a listen.
Trump says he's optimistic about working out a deal with Iran as Vice President Vance gears up for high-stakes peace talks in Pakistan.
But Iran's supreme leader is already complicating the process by floating plans to take over the Strait of Hormuz and demanding fees.
Trey Yinks joins us live from Tel Aviv with the details. Good morning, Trey.
Yeah, hey guys, good morning. With high-stakes talks scheduled this weekend in Islamabad, Pakistan, an Israeli intelligence official tells Fox News Iran is indeed demanding fees for the few vessels it's allowing to pass through the Strait of Hormuz. This official adds the strait is effectively under full IRGC control. They decide who gets to go through, but more importantly, who doesn't. I am told that there is intelligence being shared in the intel community about how Iran is trying to tighten its grip on this strait ahead of the negotiations this weekend. Overnight, President Trump taking to Truth Social to talk about the issue, saying, quote, Iran is doing a very poor job, dishonorable, some would say, of allowing oil to go through the Strait of Hormuz. That is not the agreement we have. With just 8 vessels reportedly passing through the strait in the first 48 hours of the ceasefire, a statement was released via state media from Iran's supreme leader overnight saying, quote, and certainly we are entering a new era with the management of the Strait of Hormuz. We did not and do not seek war, but we will not give up our rightful rights in any way. And for this, we consider all the fronts of resistance as one. The region is waiting to see the outcome of the talks in Pakistan as Iranian officials and U.S. officials appear to be discussing a different set of terms. Iraq's foreign minister spoke yesterday about the talks.
We discussed the upcoming negotiation process in Pakistan, and we support and encourage this process. And we hope that the negotiation process will achieve its goals, which are peace and security in the region.
One issue that appears to be a sticking point is whether or not Israel will still be able to strike Hezbollah, Iran's largest proxy based in Lebanon. Overnight, the Israelis struck a variety of launching positions in southern Lebanon, and shortly after, Hezbollah launched a rocket that triggered sirens in Tel Aviv.
I want to tell you, there is no ceasefire in Lebanon. We continue to strike Hezbollah with force, and we will not stop until we restore your security. Our great achievements, both in Iran and against the axis of evil, have brought about a historic change in Israel's status in the region.
Next week, talks are scheduled to take place between Israel and Lebanon, aimed at creating peaceful relations between the two countries and disarming Hezbollah. But again, this news we can report today. An Israeli intelligence official telling Fox News Iran is indeed demanding fees for vessels to pass through the Strait of Hormuz. We are reaching out to shipping companies to determine if they are paying these fees. Guys?
Trey, any talks of arming the people of Iran? I know it worked for Reagan with Nicaragua.
Yeah, about a week ago, I spoke with President Trump about this issue, and he said that they tried to get weapons into the hands of Iranian protesters earlier this year, and ultimately those weapons were kept by, the president says, the Kurds. I've reached out to regional sources who say that is true, that those weapons were sent and they did not get delivered to the protesters. And so certainly there are a variety of options on the table for the president. They're waiting to see what the outcome of these negotiations in Islamabad will be, understanding that the Iranians lack leverage at the negotiating table. The IRGC has been destroyed and decimated in the aftermath of Operation Epic Fury. Iran's nuclear program was taken out during Operation Midnight Hammer. The production lines for these ballistic missiles and drones were targeted in U.S. and Israeli strikes over the past 40 days. And so the Iranians have very little at the negotiating table, and officials say they are going to have to admit that they lost on the battlefield and have a change of tune if they are willing to get a good faith deal.
So, Trey, that's almost zero chance of Iran admitting they lost, to saying take the uranium and you could have the strait. So that makes you wonder, do they just go on with talks and say progress has been made like we saw prior to this conflict actually taking place? Or do you sense there's a timeline, maybe inside the 2 weeks, for these talks either to get traction or fall apart?
It's a great question. And look, President Trump has made clear, and this is true, that the Iranians often say one thing to the press and another thing at the negotiating table because they want to maintain this allure that they have power still within the country that has been largely decimated as a result of these U.S. strikes. But we're looking at a variety of issues here, and we are seeing, at least publicly, a difference in the positions being presented by the Americans and the Iranians. The president earlier this week said that Iran has agreed to allow a team to basically go to where these nuclear facilities had this enriched uranium, dig it up from where it was buried in the aftermath of Operation Midnight Hammer, and remove this highly enriched uranium from the country. The Iranians, just this week, their top nuclear chief said they're going to maintain the ability to enrich uranium. Then we have the issue of the Strait of Hormuz, where we know the president has demanded this passageway be opened, and the Iranians are sort of playing games, still not allowing vessels to freely flow through. And according to our reporting, demanding fees from those that are able to make this critical journey. And then finally, you have this broader issue of a program that not only supports regional proxies like Hezbollah, Hamas, and the Houthis, but also an internal ballistic missile program that has threatened U.S. forces and allies across the region. And so unless the Iranians are willing to make serious concessions after they suffered this defeat on the battlefield, then the region would likely return to some sense of conflict.
All right. Great reporting.
I think that we are going to be seeing conflict all over again because allegedly they are saying this, which I want to show y'all here too, which is obviously very, very, very much insane. JD Vance just, and this apparently was breaking over like the past hour or so. JD Vance just flew to Pakistan to negotiate peace with Iran. Iran's response before he even landed: we're not negotiating until you honor what you already agreed to. A ceasefire in Lebanon. Frozen assets released. Iran's parliament speaker just posted the terms before Vance's plane even landed. Two measures mutually agreed upon have yet to be implemented: a ceasefire in Lebanon and the release of Iran's blocked assets. These must be fulfilled before negotiations begin. Mutually agreed upon. So it has to be mutually agreed upon. Okay, two measures mutually agreed upon have yet to be implemented. A ceasefire in Lebanon, which we just heard Netanyahu basically saying, we gonna keep on launching missiles. As much as you are sitting here saying like, oh, wait, you ain't launching any, it's supposed to be a ceasefire everywhere. What the hell? Nope. Israel is mucking it up. Israel's making it worse. Just so you know, mutually agreed upon measures that have not been implemented. They want frozen assets released and they want a ceasefire in Lebanon. And you just heard Netanyahu just say out loud, we ain't stopping. Who said we were supposed to stop? I ain't stopping. You stopping? Y'all can stop, but I'm not stopping. And that's exactly what we're seeing right now as we speak. Absolute cluster F right now. An absolute cluster F. Now, just really quick, we definitely have got to talk about something else here that is just absolutely crazy. And we haven't really had a chance to really talk about this, okay? Which I think is very interesting, all right? I think it's interesting nonetheless. We haven't talked about Tiggo Biddies in a while. Yeah, I know. No, we're not talking about, Melania and her hot piece of ace. Nope. We are talking about Tits Up. Yeah. Kristi Noem and her husband. Apparently, he said some things. How he wanted to become a trans bimbo S word. He wanted to leave his wife, Kristi Noem, whom he was so faithful with. I'm totally kidding. That's a lie. So that he could go off, transition, and get the big boobies and the big butt, and be a dirty person, allegedly. Now, I'm not trying to slut shame. I'm not, if you want to share yourself with many, many other bodies, by all means, do your thing. Okay. Like I said, as long as it's legal, consensual, legal, do your thing, whatever you want to do. But apparently he wanted to, dirty slore, as some would say. He wanted to be that. Apparently there's audio of him saying these things too. To a dominatrix. Yeah, you can't even make this up. Like this guy. And you mean to tell me she didn't know at all? Like I said, she didn't know at all. She didn't know at all. Come on, let's take a look. Brian Noem, okay, told dominatrix that he wanted to leave Christie to get out there, okay? To get out there. I'll just say that. To get out there, bro. Okay? To get out there. But anyway, Christie Noem's cross-dressing husband, Brian, allegedly once told a dominatrix he wanted to leave his wife and become the S-worker's trans bimbo S-word, revealing his desire to go by the name of Crystal. Interesting, because his wife's name is Christy, and he wanted to call himself Crystal. Shai Sotomayor claimed in an interview with the Daily Mail, published Friday today, that Noem, 56 years old, had opened up about his gender fantasies during their secret years-long online tryst. I need to be your trans bimbo S-word, he once texted her. Yeah. In other messages, where did it go? In other messages, he allegedly fantasized about leaving the mother of his 3 kids and told the dominatrix, who is also married, that she was, quote unquote, so much better than his wife. I could see us leaving our spouses for each other, he said to her at one point. Noem allegedly gushed too about wanting to have a boob job, face surgery, and hormone therapy. I want to be Crystal so bad, he said in one text. I want to be a woman so bad. The S-worker recalled being shocked that Noem had chosen a name so similar, well, I just said it too, but yeah, so similar to that of his wife. I think that's weird, don't you think? I was just jaw to the floor, thrown for a loop that he wanted to be called that. So close to her name when he could have gone with Stephanie or something. Sure. Or Brianna, because his name is Brian. You know what I mean? Something like that, but no. Babs. You know, he could have gone with anything else. Barbara. He could have gone with anything else. And he wanted to go with Crystal. Summer. Sunny. You know what I mean? Could have gone with any other name. He went with Crystal, man. The revelations emerged after Noem, who had been married to the former Homeland Security Secretary for more than 30 years, was outed as a crossdresser obsessed with the bimbofication fetish community. Yeah. So as we've already seen these photos. Y'all have already seen these photos, but yeah, he had a hankering for some balloons. He had a hankering for some helium. You know? Unbelievable. Like, they really are going in on this dude. They have not stopped.
I think actually we go to dinner at an expensive place, then we go to serendipity for dessert. I think actually we go to dinner at an expensive place, then we go to serendipity for dessert. You know what serendipity is?
I've heard of it. I've seen some articles on it.
I think we should go there for dessert.
Yeah.
And I would bow to you.
What if people saw us together?
I don't give a fuck.
Not even if you got recognized?
I don't care.
You
You know what I want?
What?
To be seen with you.
Yeah?
Hmm.
Mm,
I don't give a fuck about anything else.
yeah.
It's time we be seen together.
You told me you loved me, didn't you?
I do love you.
Do
Yes.
you?
Mhm.
So much better than your wife, aren't I?
You're so much better.
You can't live without me, can you?
Oh no.
I can't.
Mm-hmm. Just so weak and desperate for me.
Yes, God. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
What a good boy.
I feel so. I need a shower. I feel so dirty right now just hearing that. Okay? Like, how did she recorded that ish. She recorded that ish. Do you understand? She recorded that ish. Like I said in the title, what the F is going on, y'all? What is going on? She really did end it with good boy. Good. Good. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't get me wrong. You know, like you want to do a little like foreplay with your girl or your man's, whatever. However you roll is fine. I don't want to hear it. You know what I'm saying? But she recorded that. She recorded that. And he's like, I don't care. And I'm sure that's why she's out there cheating on him too. It's not like she just coincidentally just went ahead and started bumping uglies with one of her coworkers. No, it's because she'd been known that he's been doing this stuff. She been know him. Okay? Real talk. She been know him. That Bri likes to put on the boobies and walk around thinking that he's Crystal and talking to a dominatrix named Shy. Like, I don't... is that the premise to a Tyler Perry movie? But only for white people? Like, literally. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Tyler. Yo, TP. You might want to think about that. That might be a good one. Take the premise of this and turn it into a movie and put only white people in it. And it will win an Oscar. Watch. I'm being dead ass. They'll sit there and go, wow, the writing was incredible. That was so good. But it's the same damn script. It would have been the same if it was black people in it. Watch. I'm being real. I'm being dead ass. Because I was watching a movie or a TV show the other day, and I was like, this is a Tyler Perry movie, except there's a whole bunch of white people in it. It's all white people. It's an all-white cast. I'm like, there's no way that this... I was like, I guarantee if black people were doing this script, like acting in this movie or this show, that everybody would go ham on it. Be like, this is the worst piece of trash I ever seen. But it's white people in it. It's all white cast. And it's like, wow, it's so brilliant. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. They're explaining everything. No, it's a movie. It was the Housemaid. Yeah, I watched that trash. Yeah. You know, the movie with homegirl, MAGA herself. What's her name? What's her name? I forgot her. Sweeney? Something Sweeney? Sydney? Is this? Yeah, Sydney Sweeney, right? And I was like, this is a Tyler Perry movie. The only difference is that it's white people in it. If black people were in this movie, they'd be like, oh, this is a Tyler Perry movie. But it was Sydney Sweeney. So now everyone's like, oh, it's such a good movie. Oh, can't wait to watch the sequel. Oh my God. What's going to happen next? It's like, no, it's a freaking Tyler Perry movie with white people in it. And they weren't wearing wigs. That's the only difference, man. Damn. But anyway, Because you still got the man with his ass all out and everything. You still got the nudity. You know what I'm saying? You still got the, you know how it is. You know Tyler Perry movies. Come on now. You know Tyler Perry movies. All the man's ass all out all the time. You're like, why you guys show the ass? All the time. Okay? But I'm being real. I'm being real. You watch that movie. Go check it out. Check out that movie. You're going to be like, that was a Tyler Perry movie. Damn, that was really a Tyler Perry movie. It really was. But now you got it in real life. Now you got this in real life. Okay? Real life. Come on now. Where are the divorce papers? Okay? I'd be signing them papers real quick. I don't know about you. But I'd be signing those papers so damn fast. Okay? I'm just saying. Just saying. Oh, I appreciate you appreciating the show. Thank you, Lauren. I appreciate it. Thank you. I'm just saying. Okay. I don't know who directed the movie. All I know is that it's yeah. I don't think there was one person of color in that show, in that movie. Not saying that makes or breaks the movie. It's just an observation. Okay. I don't think there was. I don't think there really was. Asian. There was an Asian person in the show. Yeah. But other than that, that's it. Okay. But like I said, interesting movie. Okay. Interesting movie. But moving on. Nonetheless, I think that when it comes to Kristi Noem, divorce papers should have already been filed. That should already be delivered to her husband's office or wherever the hell he is. He might be in some sex dungeon, you know what I'm saying? Screaming out aardvark or something as a safety word right now. But after he gets done doing that, he should be served papers as soon as possible. You know? Can you imagine that on that whole situation caught on a show called Cheaters? Remember that show? Is that show still on the air? But can you imagine the host of the show with Kristi Noem in the car? And he's like, you ready to do this? And she's got her like ice hat on. She's like nice and low. I think I am. And they go into this sex dungeon. And he's sitting there going, aardvark, aardvark, aardvark. Oh, I'm so naughty. Tell me say my name is Crystal. I'm a naughty Crystal. I'm a naughty little girl. And then they come in with the cameras and stuff all up in his face. And he's got like balloon boobies and everything. I'm naughty, you know? Now that would be an episode I think a lot of us would watch. Okay? Come on now. Oh, dear God. You can't make it. I'm not even making it up. That is really what's going on. You just heard that in the audio. Okay? Yep. That would be real. That would be real. So let's talk about JD Vance now. Speaking of androgynous looks, let's talk about Smokey Eye.
The vice president is en route to Pakistan on that front. The U.S. and Iran set for high-stakes peace talks in Islamabad tomorrow. These are live pictures as well from Pakistan's capital that we have to share with you. Vance will be leading the U.S. delegation, telling reporters today he expects those talks to be positive. The ceasefire, however, is shaky as the fighting continues in the Middle East. Let's go to Hannah Brandt. She's following the vice president's trip as he gets ready for these negotiations. Hannah, what else is the administration saying going into these talks?
Well, Marnie, they're certainly projecting some optimism and some hopefulness that this will reach a deal with Iran. The vice president, as you said, he's on his way to the Middle East right now. He'll be meeting in Pakistan, leading the U.S. delegation of negotiators as they meet in person with Iranian leaders. These are high-stake talks. They're trying to strike a deal to end this war after this tentative ceasefire was struck earlier this week. And take a listen to what the vice president had to say before he boarded Air Force Two for the trip this morning.
We're looking forward to the negotiation. I think it's going to be positive. We'll, of course, see, as the President of the United States said, if the Iranians are willing to negotiate in good faith, we're certainly willing to extend the open hand. If they're going to try to play us, then they're going to find that the negotiating team is not that receptive. So we're going to try to have a positive negotiation. The president has gave us some pretty clear guidelines, and we're going to see.
So some cautious optimism from the White House, but these talks do come as the ceasefire seems to be on pretty shaky ground. Iran has made public demands for a deal that the White House is calling unserious. And in fact, just moments ago, we did hear from Iran's parliament speaker who said that he needs to see a ceasefire in Lebanon and the release of Iran's blocked assets before these talks even begin. Iran has, of course, been upset that Lebanon isn't part of the ceasefire, according to the White House and Israel, and they've threatened previously to pull out of negotiations if those strikes on Lebanon don't stop. President Trump did have a phone call with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu recently, and he tells reporters he did ask Netanyahu to pull back on those strikes in Lebanon. Now, there's also tension over the Strait of Hormuz that's threatening this fragile truce. President Trump saying Iran is doing a poor job of allowing oil through the strait, writing that is not the agreement we have. So even heading into these talks, a lot of disagreements to work through, but the White House has expressed confidence that a deal can be reached. And there's certainly a lot of political pressure on Vance. He is the key player leading these talks for the U.S., and especially as he's seen as a potential 2028 presidential candidate. This could be a really important mark in what he's done for the White House under the Trump administration. I would note U.S. Special Envoy Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner also traveling with the vice president. They, of course, have led all of the previous talks with Iran for the Trump administration. On the Iranian side, we're expecting the country's foreign minister and parliament speaker, though we don't know for sure who will be representing Iran. And really, that's part of the challenge in these negotiations, because several key Iranian leaders have been killed in this conflict, which leaves a lot of questions about the new power dynamics in the country at this point and certainly moving forward, Marnie.
Yeah, and if that lays the groundwork for a regime change. Hannah, the war is prompting a surge in inflation here at home. How is the White House responding to some new data that was released today?
Well, the White House is trying to make the case that this is all temporary. We've heard that from President Trump, right? Let's take a look at those new numbers from the Labor Department. They show consumer prices are up 3.3% in March when compared to last year. Inflation is up. A lot of that is driven by that huge spike in gas prices we've seen in recent weeks, up almost 19% in March. Housing costs also rising in March, but groceries and health insurance did fall slightly from the month before, even though grocery costs are still higher than they were a year ago. And in response to these new inflation numbers, White House spokesman Kush Desai put out this statement. He says, although gas and energy prices are seeing volatility, prices of eggs, beef, prescription drugs, dairy, and other household essentials are falling or remain stable thanks to President Trump's policies. Also adding that the American economy remains, quote, on solid trajectory. And next week, President Trump is traveling to Nevada and Arizona. He's going to highlight changes the administration made to tax policy. The White House is calling this Tax Week. Remember, they put in place things like no tax on overtime. And those are things they see as some of their most significant economic accomplishments.
A lot of people are thinking things are about to go belly up here very, very soon. That things, well, I mean, things are already getting really bad, but obviously they're thinking that things are about to get much, much worse. And of course, still the Strait of Hormuz is not getting any better. It has gotten, it's still at a standstill. They're still at a stalemate. There has not been any movement as far as boats being able to go through the Strait of Hormuz. It's still at a standstill, which is absolutely insane. Let me get some of these super chats here really quick. Let me see what's going on. Okay. And so let me see something here real quick. All right. So again, let me get some of these super chats. All right. And again, I appreciate you guys being here. It really means a lot. Please do me a favor. Make sure you hit the like button down below. Hit the like, crush it, hit it. Okay. That would be greatly, greatly appreciated. All right. Of course, don't forget to hit the subscribe button as well. Subscribe, please, and thank you. Let's get to the super chats here really quick. Carbonize, thank you so much for the love. Smells like the desperate act of someone who's already been ordered to testify before a court. How strange. Yeah. It is a little bit weird. If you're referring to Melania, I'm assuming you are because this was in the very beginning of the show. Yes, I think something's up. Something's weird. Something weird is going on, but obviously we already know what it is because of the article that just came out and the audio that just came out from the Daily Beast. So clearly something is going on here for sure. But nonetheless, very interesting stuff that's going on. Carbonize, again, thank you so much. Plums is far too generous for a man of his age. Pebbles is more accurate. Okay, I'm done now. Yeah, good call. Hit the like. Thank you. And please. Moving on. Thank you so much. Mary just said, I love plums. Oh, well, then he might be your soulmate then. I'm kidding. But good that you like plums. It's good. Moving on. Thank you so much, Charles. Thank you so much for being a member for the past 5 months. I appreciate it. Trump is delusional. He now wants to put a Trump vile arch in Washington, D.C. Yeah, I heard something about an arch or an arc. I think it's an arch, but an arch. That's a little insane. That's a little insane. But again, he's just trying to put up as many things and put his name on so many things and just say, it's mine, it's mine, it's mine, it's mine. You see what I'm saying? So if he was to do something like that, yeah, it's like a golden arch. Yeah. So golden arches, McDonald's, maybe, I don't know, but that's weird, right? Yeah. Arc de Trump. Weird. The Bella Stella, thanks so much for being a member for the past 16 months. Wow. Someone needs to take their grandpa to a home and take his phone away. Abso-freaking-lutely. Okay? Absolutely. What? Hold on. Is that true? I mean, that's kind of old news now, apparently. A super chat that just came up. I'll look at it in a second. But anyway, yes, I agree, the Bella Stella. And hopefully you're staying safe out there. Real talk. Hopefully you are staying safe. Tina, thank you so much for being a member for 17 months. I appreciate it. Time flies, boo. Hey, Pascal, love you. Love you too. Thank you so much for the love and so much for the support. I really do appreciate it. Mimi, thank you so much for the love, super sticker, and for the super sticker, I really do appreciate it. Again, for the super chat, hit the damn like for Pascal. It's not that difficult. It really isn't. It really, really isn't. Hit that like button down below. That'd be dope if we can get to 1K likes. That'll be helpful. Okay, that'd be awesome and helpful. Free thinker, no, I am not a veteran. I am not. Moving on, Carbonize. Thank you so much for the love, all the way from Canada. Appreciate it. Mayonnaise Medea, Midlife Meltdown in theaters. I'm done. Yeah, but I'm telling you, if he took one of his movies, one of his scripts, and put white people in it, and only white people, I guarantee you, it would be the people would have. I don't know. I've just noticed. I'm just seeing the scripts in these shows. Like there's a show I started watching last night called Scarpetta. Nicole Kidman is in it. Nicole Kidman is in it. And why am I forgetting her name now? The original Scream Queen from like the Halloween movies. Why am I forgetting her name? She was in True Lies. Somebody knows her name, but you know who I'm talking about. She's in that movie too, or in this TV show. It's a TV show. I haven't even gotten through the first. I started Jamie Lee Curtis. Thank you guys. Okay. So Jamie Lee Curtis, but the main star, of course, is Nicole Kidman with her ever-changing morphing face. It's absolutely insane. But anyway, the script is terrible. Okay, guys, I get it's Jamie Lee Curtis. Damn, guys, damn. I get it, y'all. Jamie Lee Curtis. I get it. But she's in this show too, this TV show, and it's on Amazon Prime. It's called Scarpetta. Watched 30 minutes of it. I think it's an hour long each episode. Trash. Absolute trash. Do you understand? Trash. And people are eating it up. And I'm like, this is a Tyler Perry script. This is Tyler Perry's first draft of his movie. Real talk. I'm like, wow. This is really this is how far we've gone. We've come. How far down we've gone with content. Wow, it's bad. And I didn't even finish the first episode. I'm like, oh my God, this is so bad. So just saying, there's some, yeah. If Tyler Perry, if they're making movies like, or TV shows and movies like that, come on, Tyler Perry, throw in you know what I'm saying? Just do one of them, just one. And I guarantee you they'll take you seriously. Sorry, not sorry. Moving on. Genobi, what's up? General Genobi, what's good? Thank you so much for the love. Call 911. I laughed, fell on the floor, and tickled all at once. Aw, thanks. The show today is the best, all caps. Thank you. Woo! The tea is hot. I am dying at all of this. And always the religious freaks worried about others while in the closet. Damn. Yeah. Ain't that funny? That's true. You know what I mean? I love the Lord. And then they're in the bathroom lathering themselves with peanut butter, looking at content that they shouldn't be looking at. But then they're chastising all those that live an alternative lifestyle, yet they're living an alternative lifestyle behind closed doors. It's the most insane thing in the world. Okay. You got him showing off his puppies while she's off killing puppies, Kristi Noem. You know what I'm saying? It's bad, but that's true. Nutty peanut butter. Okay. The crunchy, nutty peanut butter, not the creamy. Okay. Because it's just nasty. It's just nasty. Okay. Nasty. Mimi, thank you so much for the love. Ignore my ish. Ignore my ish. The F, I guess the F cares. I don't know what that is. ETF cares. Okay. Hit the like at least. Okay. WTF. It's not that difficult. Thank you again. Hit the like. Yes. Again, Mimi. Yes. Hit at least the like. Not that difficult. Just do it. Mimi just said it like 3 times in a row. You all better do it. Y'all better do it. Y'all better do it. Hit that like. You know, when she says it 3 times in a row, she means it, and she paying for it, so she means it. Hit that like. Mother lovers. Habibi, thank you so much for the love. Kim Jong-un just won another election. It sounds like, I just looked it up. It sounds like that happened like a month ago. Yeah, he was reelected as New Jersey's, North Korea's supreme leader. So it sounds like that's old news. But Good to know. Thank you for letting me know. Okay, so the beautiful disaster. Thank you so much for being a member for the past 5 months. I appreciate it. Pascal imitating the dominatrix was not on my 2026 card. I love you, sir. You are always amazing. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you so very much. Okay, I appreciate that. We here to talk about the mess that's going on, and we're here to talk about all that's going on, and there's a lot of mess going on. There's a lot of mess. Okay, there's a lot of mess going on. It's getting saucy out there, loves. It's getting quite saucy. But nonetheless, man, oh man. Even so, speaking of which, I need to pull and show you guys this too. Because now it seems like Benjamin Netanyahu is starting to throw Spain under the bus now too. Yeah. And there's a theory floating around that maybe Trump is trying or was trying to get out of NATO because Israel was going to start beef with other allies. And Trump doesn't want to be in the middle of that kind of situation where he has to go against the likes of Israel in a situation like this. Now you got the likes of Netanyahu saying that Spain, that he ain't cool with Spain now, and that he's pulling them out of the Gaza Coordination Center. And they're saying he's saying and claiming over hostility. So take a look at this. And I don't know if it's in his language or not, or,
ישראל לא תשתוק.
Hold on, where is it?
נגד ישראל. מי שתוקף את מדינת...
That's in his language. So here, it's not in English. So here it is, okay? So he's saying, I will not remain silent in the face of those who attack us. Spain has defamed our heroes, the soldiers of the IDF, the soldiers of the most moral army in the world. Therefore, I have instructed today to remove Spain's representatives from the coordination center at Kiryat Gat, after Spain has chosen repeatedly to stand against Israel. Those who attack the state of Israel instead of terrorist regimes will not be our partners regarding the future of the region. I'm not willing to tolerate this hypocrisy and hostility. I do not intend to allow any country to wage a diplomatic war against us without paying an immediate price. This is what he's saying in this statement.
ישראל לא תשתוק מול מי שתוקף אותנו. ספרד הכפישה את גיבורנו, את חיילי צה"ל, חיילי הצבא המוסרי ביותר בעולם. ולכן הנחיתי היום לסלק את נציגי ספרד ממרכז התיאום בקריית גת, לאחר שספרד בחרה שוב ושוב להתייצב נגד ישראל. מי שתוקף את מדינת ישראל במקום את משטרי הטרור, מי שעושה זאת לא יהיה שותף שלנו לגבי עתיד האזור. אני לא מוכן לסבול את הצביעות הזאת ואת העוינות הזאת. אני לא מתכוון לאפשר לאף מדינה לנהל נגדנו מלחמה מדינית בלי לשלם על כך מחיר מיידי.
Wow. So here's the thing. If he's trying to start beef now with the likes of Spain, what's next? If he's trying to start beef, because now he's saying that they are being disrespectful to the likes of Israel. If he's going to start beef with the likes of Israel, of Spain, what's next? He's already, listen, they're already having issues right now with Lebanon. They're already having issues with Lebanon right now as we speak. And it doesn't matter what side of the fence what side of the what team you're on that you're batting for. It doesn't matter. Put all those things aside. Push all those things, your personal political views on all this stuff, put it all to the side for a hot minute and just look at what we're looking at right now. if he starts something with Spain, what's next? What's next? Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has accused Spain of waging a diplomatic war against Israel and barred Madrid from participating in a coordination center to oversee the Gaza ceasefire. In a video statement posted on Friday, which we just saw, Netanyahu said Israel would not, quote unquote, remain silent in the face of those who attack us. We already read the whole statement, okay? So we're going to move on. Foreign Minister Gideon Saar also slammed Spanish Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez and said his government had leveled blood libels at Israel and its army. So it says Spain's obsessive anti-Israel bias under Sanchez's leadership is so egregious. How egregious is it? That it has all capability to serve a constructive role in implementing POTUS's, President of the United States, peace plan and the center of operating under it. This is what he wrote on X. Relations between the two countries have deteriorated since Israel launched its genocidal war against Palestinians in Gaza in October of 2023. The following year, Spain recognized the state of Palestine, with Sanchez's left-wing government speaking out against the mistreatment of Palestinians in the occupied territory. Sanchez's government also opposed the U.S.-Israel war on Iran that began on February 28th. Remember, Trump turned to Spain, and Spain was like, "We ain't in it. See ya. We ain't in it. You want us to what? No, we good. We're gonna be over here. Good luck." But it wasn't only just Spain. It was all of NATO. Other countries also said the same thing. At first, they were like, "We're ready to go. We're ready to go get after it, brother." And then later they said, "No." As soon as the Strait of Hormuz was starting to get shut down and everything went belly up, and Trump's like, "Come on, help me. NATO, help." They're like, "Nope, we're going to stand right here. We good. We're not doing nothing." That's Spain and all others that are involved, that are a part of NATO, okay? But moving on. And they closed Spanish. They also closed Spanish airspace to U.S. aircraft involved in the mother-loving war as well. So the Civil Military Coordination Center, the CMCC, a U.S.-led base that is part of Donald Trump's 20-point plan to end the war on Gaza, is responsible for monitoring the ceasefire and facilitating the flow of humanitarian aid into the enclave. The U.S. established the CMCC in October as a hub for military personnel and diplomats from other countries to work alongside Israel and the U.S. on security and humanitarian issues in Gaza. Despite the ceasefire, quote unquote ceasefire, Israel has continued near daily attacks on Gaza. Let me repeat that again. Despite the ceasefire with Gaza, with the whole situation in Gaza, Israel is still sending missiles, is still attacking nearly daily Gaza, with limitations to vital aid deliveries still in place. So now you got Netanyahu turning to the likes of Spain and saying, "You're not invited to this party anymore. You can't be a part of this conversation anymore because you are not helping us with what we're doing. In fact, you're hindering us. You're not helping, you're hindering. We're not okay with that. So you can kick rocks, Spain. Bye, Spain. Get out of here. Kick mother-loving rocks." Yet you still have carnage and problems going on in Gaza when there's supposed to be a ceasefire going on in Gaza as well, and there ain't. Just like there's supposed to be a ceasefire with Iran right now and other countries that are in the crossfires of this war with Iran. But Israel, Netanyahu, is still bombing the ish out of Lebanon right now as we speak. And now he's calling out other countries and say he got a problem with them too. Joe Pesci is now saying, I got a problem with you. Got a problem with you, Spain. You getting in my way, Spain. Hey, Spain, you make a better door than a window. Am I right? Am I right, fellas? That's literally what's going on right now. Kick rocks. You in my way. Well, is anything going to change anytime soon? Are these ceasefires actually going to cease fire? Because right now we haven't seen any of that. We haven't seen any of that. Real talk, we haven't seen any of that. And now you got the likes of Netanyahu starting to poke at other sleeping bears now. Part of NATO. When is it going to start getting better instead of things getting worse? I'm hoping this weekend something brilliant happens. I really am hoping for that, but I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. I will be completely honest with that. I don't see anything like that happening anytime soon, just so you know. But we will see what happens. Now, here's something else. A little bit of a left turn. Jumping into the true crime realm for just 2 seconds. Now, I know I talked to you guys about this yesterday before the show ended, and I do need to bring this up again, okay? Because there has been new updates revolving around this Lynette Hooker case. She was missing, or she disappeared in the ocean, okay, in the Bahamas. She was in an 8-foot dinghy with her husband, and he claims that she, I guess, got knocked over due to some violent winds or a violent storm that passed over them, and she's been nowhere to be found. He pedaled, or not pedaled, but he rowed himself back to shore because the keys to his boat were on her, so he couldn't sail his boat or drive his boat. So he had to basically row himself back to shore to report her missing. Now, as of the last few days, he has been arrested in connection to her disappearance. Obviously, they're thinking some foul play was involved. And a lot of it had to do with with her daughter, his stepdaughter, finding, I guess, some crucial information, to kind of go against what he was saying he was doing during the time that he was supposed to be rowing. Apparently, he was allegedly still on the boat during the time when he was supposed to be rowing for several hours to the shore to, call the police and try to get people involved, so on and so forth, right? So anyway, very weird stuff, nonetheless. And of course, she is still nowhere to be found. And now he has been arrested. And of course, they did explain that there is quite a history of violence between him and his now missing and most likely deceased wife, Lynette Hooker. And we have got to take a look at this as well. Okay. So let's take a look at this really, 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 really quick.
All right, now to a story we've been talking about all week, the latest on that missing American woman in the Bahamas. Police are searching technology on Lynette Hooker's sailboat. We also have an exclusive look at messages her husband sent after she disappeared. Police are holding Brian Hooker for questioning. Christian Benavides is in Freeport. Christian, good morning.
Nate, good morning. Overnight, we saw Brian Hooker at the hospital. He was receiving medical care. He was handcuffed. He was wearing pajamas as he was receiving care for a knee injury that he says he received while being taken into custody after he went overboard in his sailboat. Laptops and cell phones on board this sailboat owned by Brian and Lynette Hooker, named Soulmate, could contain evidence related to the Michigan woman's disappearance, according to a search warrant reviewed by CBS News.
He was taken to his vessel for a search, and when he went there, he was handcuffed.
Hooker's attorney, Terrell Butler, says the 59-year-old was arrested Wednesday after a 3-hour-long interview with police. She says after being detained, Hooker was handcuffed and taken to his boat for a search, but fell overboard himself.
The weather was so choppy and the vessel was moving. He alleges that as a result of all of that, he fell overboard and he had to be rescued by the person's officers.
Hooker received medical attention.
What? Okay, that's some BS.
At a hospital overnight. What was his demeanor like? What was he like?
He was very sad, and you could see it appears as if this whole thing was taking a toll on him. And when he started to talk about his wife, he broke down in tears because he said he wanted to be out there searching for her.
Everybody handles panic and loss different, but you still have, there's no desperation there. Like, you don't like Facebook posts while there's a search and rescue going on for your spouse.
Bam. Here's the thing, and I agree with what he first. I agree with everything he just said, but I need to reiterate it. Clearly, everyone deals with trauma differently, but you're not going on social media to click a like or reshare stuff or anything, because you're going, well, my wife or my loved one is missing and they're out there somewhere. So I got things to do. Like try to find my loved one. I don't have time for this frilly, unnecessary social media crap. Okay, I got to do my thing. Unless you're going to social media and basically saying like, I'm trying to find my wife. If anyone can come out here and help me find my wife, please come here. We'll be here, so on and so forth. Right? That's what you're using social media and going on your Facebook page and all that for. Not wasting your time dilly-dallying. You know what I'm saying? That to me is an admission of guilt, but that's just my personal opinion. Let's move on.
Daniel Danforth said he and his wife became friends with Lynette and Brian in 2023.
My wife had made a Facebook post about sailing, and I commented on it, and then he liked my comment. And so I reached out to him. I said, Brian, I said, what's going on? Did I just see y'all on the news that it said that Lynette fell off the boat? And he said that, unfortunately so, that she had fell off the boat in bad weather.
Hooker's account to Danforth seems to differ from the statement he gave police. Danforth read some of Hooker's messages exclusively to CBS News.
The wind blew me away from her, and she swam to the sailboat, and we lost sight of each other pretty quickly as it was just about sundown.
Hooker initially told investigators Lynette fell off their dinghy in bad weather and that strong currents carried her away. He made no mention of the sailboat.
I just think that it's a terrible situation no matter what the outcome is.
I mean, let's be real. If you can't get your story straight, if the story's already got bends and twists and turns, then clearly you up to something. Clearly something's up, and clearly you did something wrong.
Is we still lost a great member of the sailing community.
Brian's attorney says that he is in an extremely fragile state. She also says that he denies any wrongdoing. In addition to that, the attorney says that authorities here in the Bahamas have 96 hours to hold him, meaning 4 days until Sunday night before they have to decide whether to release him or charge him. Gail?
Christian, there are so many questions in this case for a lot of us, but can you go back to your part in the story where you said they took him back to the boat, he's handcuffed, he falls off the boat. How does that happen?
So look, he's detained on land at a hotel that he was staying in with his sister. In the presence of his sister, he's taken into custody, and then they tell him, look, we're going to take you to your boat so that you can get some clothing because you're going to be detained for some time. They take him to his boat. He is handcuffed, and then in that process is when he falls into the water, having to be rescued by the same officers that just detained him. Gail?
Doesn't that sound a little strange? Just a little strange.
Yeah, that sounds a little weird. Okay. That sounds a little weird if you ask me, but I don't know. Maybe he was trying to get some sympathy, or maybe he was trying to, I don't know, maybe do something bad to himself. You get what I'm saying? I don't know. Okay. It's weird. It's weird. But like I said, if you can't keep your story straight, then you know what I mean? If you can't keep your story straight and your story keeps changing and you're going, oh yeah, oh no, I had another boat and that boat's out there and I don't know where the key is. And oh yeah, we took a dinghy. No, we used it, we were on the boat when she fell off. It wasn't on the dinghy. It's like, wait a second, then what is the truth? And if your story keeps on having twists and turns like that, and you keep on going, oh, no, what I really meant was, then yeah, you're screwing up big time. You're screwing up big time, and you obviously did something to your wife. And it goes without question, okay? It goes without question that this man is the prime suspect in his wife's disappearance. He's the last one to see her alive, and he's feeding a lot of things that could be questionable. Now, here's the other thing too. Let me just say this, because I truly believe, I truly think that this guy has something to do with this for sure. That's just me. Okay. Now I could be 110% wrong, or I could be 110% right. I don't know. Okay. But at the same time, there is something about this that I feel like he did it, but there's still a possibility that he had nothing to do with it. And that, okay, sure, he has a history of violence. Sure, it looks like there was some DV or some sort of something, okay, violence going on behind closed doors, domestically and all that. If that is actually, if all those claims are true, then he may have done this because he has an anger issue, or he may not have done anything. But he has that history. So instantly we're all side-eyeing him because of the history, which is terrible. But then at the same time, it's like, well, then if you just kept your hands to yourself and this disappearance happened, if this tragedy happened, then I don't think that everybody would be side-eyeing you as hard. But if you can't get your story straight and your story's all over the place and details are coming out that are just not entirely true, that are actually being more and more revealing, it's going to be very easy for all of us to instantly look at you and go, oh yeah, you did that crap. Oh, you did that for show. Right? So again, it's very interesting, but the case is still unfolding. He could be the guy who did it, but like he could have done this. It could have been just a straight up accident. That's still possible. That has to stay on the table because there has not been any proof positive of any wrongdoing done yet. There's speculation, but at the same time, you got family members, including his own kids, that are seriously side-eyeing him and going, I don't know about that. He's put his hands on her in the past. He has threatened to throw her overboard. He has had, they've had some very volatile relationships, encounters in the past. Apparently, that's one of the reasons why they split up for a little while and then got back together. Maybe they'll try to rekindle and work things out. So all those things are very interesting and very telling about a person. Now's the matter of what can they find to actually pin him to this situation. They need hardcore smoking gun evidence, because at this point, it's literally his word and his word only. That could literally get him out free. If they can't prove him doing anything at all, he could walk scot-free. And I know that's not something people want to hear, but that is the reality of it. If they can't find a speck of blood in the boat or anything of that sort, can't show any proof of foul play, then this is gonna be a long situation, and it could come out not so great for the people who believe he's done something wrong. Let's take a look at this. Tori, thank you so much for the love. I appreciate it, and appreciate you being a member for 5 months. I I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you for another great show. Also, thanks for making you look crazy at your desk cracking up. Oh, hey, I'm here to entertain. You know what I mean? It feels like it should be like the end of workday already, but it's not. It's past 3 my time. That's crazy. It's crazy. We all need a good laugh during this crazy ish. Absolutely. Thank you so much for the love, Lauren. Thank you so much for the super chat. He sounds full of phlegm. Oh, you're talking about Netanyahu. It's just the language. That's just the language, y'all. That's just how they speak. But guys, I may be on later tonight. I don't know yet. I've been wanting to do like a little IRL thing. Maybe go out and interview some people on the street, that kind of thing. Go out to the local like bar strips or whatever, and just randomly interview people. I don't know yet. I haven't really made a decision or not, but of course I'll let you guys know if I do it. If I don't, I will be back. I'll most likely do a show tonight and just hang out with y'all, because obviously there's a lot going on. And a lot of what we talked about happened like last night and overnight as well. There's just been so much going on. So, but I'm keeping an eye on the news as I always am. And of course, there's a lot more we need to talk about. So like I said, I may be back on a little bit later on this evening. So be on the lookout for it. That's why I say, make sure you hit that notification bell, okay? And set it to all. So before you do that though, hit that like button down below, crush it, do what it do. Please and thank you. That'd be greatly appreciated. Don't forget to hit that follow button. If you're watching on these other platforms, hit that subscribe button here. Please subscribe. Then, of course, go and hit that notification bell. Set it to all so you know whenever I go live, whenever I upload, because it is random. Okay? Please and thank you. Hit that join button down below. Become a member. Support the channel if you can. That'd be greatly appreciated as well. Hit that join button down below. Check out my Patreon, which is right there. Check out that Patreon. Go and check it out. All right. And of course, check out pascalmerch.com. Okay? pascalmerch.com. We can go and check it out. Please and thank you. pascalmerch.com. All right. But anyway, guys, it is time to get going. Have a great rest of your day. Enjoy this Friday. Feels like today should already be over, but it's not. But please go and enjoy your Friday. If you're going to go and do stuff, please be safe out there. And we'll be talking to you very soon, okay? Anyway, it's time to get going. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. This is The Pascal Show. Bye.